Dublin, playing in their second final in 12 months, showed they wanted to make up for last year's defeat to Galway. Shea Boland's side quickly raced into a 4-point lead in the opening 5 minutes. Paul Winters starting with a long-range free was soon followed by a good effort from half-back Owen O'Donnell as the 3-1 outsiders showed a greater hunger. But then a poor puck-out by goalkeeper Cian McGowan resulted in the concession of a penalty, with Tipperary midfielder John McGrath scoring a goal to level the match. The Lockmore Castleiney player scoring all his side's first half scores from placed balls. Dublin, seeking a first minor All-Ireland final victory since 1965, responded well. Conor McHugh put over his second point from play, landing this fine effort. Then Dublin struck for their only goal, as man of the match Cormac Costello finished with a low shot past goalkeeper Paul Maher following a good burst of pace. Costello added a brilliant point, which was the score of the first half, to help his side into a 1 goal and 8 points to 1 goal and 5 points half-time lead. Tipperary, seeking their 19th All-Ireland minor title, had the wind advantage after the break. John McGrath, who would end with a great tally of 1 goal and 11 points, quickly added a 65, the first of 2 in the second half in his exhibition of well-struck placed balls. The Munster champions then got their noses in front, when Tummy Vara's Mark McCarthy found the net for his 5th goal of this year's championship. That left the score 2 goals and 7 points to 1 goal and 8 points. But Dublin again levelled, this time a superb effort from half-back Sean McClelland. The Lucan Sarsfields player finding his range from well out the field. Sean Maher then fired Willie Maher's Tipperary side 2 points in front with just a couple of minutes left on the clock. But Paul Winters from the St. Bridget's club showed nerves of steel to score 2 late frees, including his 6th of the game, the equaliser in stoppage time. So these counties, who did not meet in the All-Ireland minor decider in 58 years, will now have to do it all again, as the 2012 minor final ended Dublin 1 goal and 16 points, Tipperary 2 goals and 13 points.
The drawing game between the sides was a thriller, with Tipperary looking for their 19th title and their first since 2007, pegged back by a late score from Paul Winters for Dublin, which forced the game into today's replay, with Tipperary remaining odds-on favourites against the Dublin side looking for their first title since 1965. And it was Winters who opened the scoring in the first minute with a long-range free for Dublin. But Tipperary dominated the rest of the half, with John McGrath scoring 3 frees, while Mark McCarthy scored the opening goal for Tipperary after just 10 minutes. McCarthy's goal setting the tone for the rest of the half. James Roach scored a couple of Dublin points to reduce the arrears, but Tipperary got their second goal 5 minutes after their first, as Ty Gallagher put past Kieran McGowan in the Dublin goal. Gallagher running in unopposed to fire in Tipperary's second goal. Tipperary were well on top, and by half-time they were way ahead. This excellent score from John McGrath helped his side to a 2-10 to 5-point half-time lead. Tip continued their points plunder after the restart and remained well in control after an excellent first half, and indeed got the opening score of the second, as McGrath took his personal tally to 8 points with another fine score from the sideline. With such a large deficit, Dublin had to go for goal, even at an early stage of the second half, with this Cormac Costello point not really what was needed for the Dubs. The game settled to a point-scoring final. Tip content to keep the scoreboard ticking over, Sean Maher's point extending Tip's big advantage. Tipperary took their foot off the gas a little towards the end of the contest, perhaps understandably, and Dublin cut the gap a little as full forward Oisín O'Rourke got what turned out to be Dublin's only goal of the match. It was mere consolation for the Dubs. The final point was, fittingly enough, scored by McGrath, who put over some tremendous points from both play and from dead balls. In the end, a runaway victory for Tipperary and title number 19 for their minors on a scoreline of Tipperary 218, Dublin 111. And Tipperary captain Bill Maher lifted the Irish Press Cup for his victorious side to confirm Tip as the worthy champions.